Hey YouTube, my son's TTR 90 is not running very well. We haven't been using it. We've got a couple other bikes that we've been riding lately, and unfortunately the TTR has been sitting neglected. I usually put stabilizer in the gas. I think I forgot to do that this time. Let me just show you what happens. I'm going to start it with the choke on. Turn the choke off, it immediately dies. She's not happy. So I really think the jets need to be cleaned on the carburetor. The bike's been sitting way too long. And actually when we got it, it had been sitting for years. So I have a suspicion that there's a lot of debris in the tank, and that's just eventually floated down into the carburetor bowl, and then it's pretty easy for the jets to pull that up into the orifice, and then the orifice gets clogged. I've noticed the bike had been getting harder and harder to start. It's still running pretty good when it was warm, but it just took a long time to run properly. So now that it's fall here, temperatures are colder and the bike's just a little bit more difficult to start. So the way you access the carburetor on a Yamaha is from the side by removing one of the fairing covers on the side of the gas tank. And what we're going to do is we're going to drain the bowl. Before we do that, we're going to turn off the fuel at the petcock, and we're going to drain the bowl. So I have a catch available. Okay, so there's 4 bolts that hold the bowl onto the carburetor, and the threads are actually exposed at the top, so you actually can get some dirt and debris that will accumulate on top of the thread. So before I loosen them, I like to put a little bit of PB Blaster on these threads, just to help loosen the bolt. The last thing that you want is to strip the screws. And actually, I called it a bolt, but it's actually a screw. It's a screw head. There we go. Okay, so I've let the PB Blaster work on the Phillips headed bolts. Just make sure that they're coming out. Yep, they are. 2 on the outside are really easy to get to. The one on the inside and the front is easy to get to as well. It's the one in the back that's a little bit trickier. So we'll do that one first. It's kind of a bad design because really the screwdriver can't go straight up. It has to go in on a bit of an angle, which is really, really bad for the screw head. But it's coming out. That PB Blaster really makes a difference. I highly recommend that you do that. Here we go. So I'd cleaned this carburetor about a year ago, and it was nasty. There we go. And you can see it's just full of scum. So we'll clean that out. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so on this carburetor, on most carburetors as well, there's 2 jets. This is the main. The main's the larger one. And then there's the pilot. The pilot is mostly responsible for the bike at idle. The pilot, the orifice is also a lot smaller, so it tends to get clogged. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's clean this thing. So what I like to do is I use some electrical wire by grabbing different numbers of strands. I can create my own size brushes. I apologize for all the noise. Neighbor down the street's getting his roof shingled. So I'm going to insert the copper strands into the main jet, and then I just go back and forth, pull it in and out, and that will loosen up any of the accumulation that's along the hole. And that one looks pretty good. And actually, it's very rare for the main jet to clog up. It's most likely the pilot jet. And what happens is the pilot jet gets clogged, so it starts pulling more off of the main jet. The bike won't idle very well, so people will start turning up the idle, and it just never runs really well. Okay, so I made another, I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, so I've made another miniature brush, and I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys know what I'm doing. So just push it through. The hole on the pilot jet is so much smaller than the main jet, and it has openings on the sides here that get clogged up, and then there's the opening on the end. I've got squirrels all over my front yard, where they're harvesting the acorns, and there are half a dozen hawks that have moved into my neighborhood trying to get the squirrels. So it's been interesting going outside. My dog is just looking out the window all day long barking. Okay, so I mechanically cleaned the jets, and now we're going to use some carb cleaner and spray them out. So I'm going to use some gum out carb cleaner. I think I got this one at Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the spray hose into the opening of the jet, and we're going to try and spray it. Now really be careful, because you do not want to get this stuff in your eyes. Yep, it's blown clean. And we'll do the main jet as well. And the same thing, just be careful you don't spray yourself in the face. I'm wearing glasses. And that's clean. There we go. Okay, so if you ever suspect that you're not getting fuel into the fuel bowl, most likely what you have to do is you need to take the float out and clean the float valve out. It might be gummed up, sticking. Or if the opposite problem is you're getting too much fuel and the float valve's not closing, you'll have a leak. But I'm not having either of those problems. I'm basically just having a jetting problem. So the jets are clean, and we're going to reinstall them. They're made out of brass, so they're actually they're softer than the surrounding metal, so you really want to make sure that they don't go in misthreaded. Okay, so we've got the jet installed. Now we're going to clean out that bowl. You can really see how much debris is in there. Okay. Now I usually use a brush, but I don't have one, but I have a Q-tip. So what I'm doing inside is just rubbing all the sides, try and loosen up that debris. I actually prefer using the chem bath. Just put it in overnight and it comes out really, really clean. So I'm re-soaking that float bowl, or the carburetor bowl. It's still dirty inside, so I sprayed another shot of carb cleaner. While I'm doing that, I'm going to actually drain the tank. What I've done is I've disconnected the fuel line going to the carburetor, and I've got this other hose going here, and I've got a catch container here. We're going to drain the tank of fuel. I'm not 100% sure how old this gas is, but it doesn't smell very fresh. So I'm going to remove this temporary drain hose. I'm going to reconnect the fuel line to the carburetor, back up to the petcock. Well, I've got the bowl cleaner, and I put the gasket back on. So what we're going to do is we're going to put everything back together. Okay, and you really don't want to over tighten the screws. There's an O-ring there that you don't want to crush. If you've got leaks, most likely you need a new O-ring or the new gasket on the float bowl. So everything looks good. Okay, I got the bike off the stand. I haven't put the fairing back on. I want to make sure that everything is working before I put that final piece back onto the bike. I've partially filled up the tank. I've opened up the valve, checked for leaks. I don't see any leaks. If you have the chance or the opportunity to buy ethanol-free gas, you really should. There's a gas station near where I live that sells it. Ethanol in the gas attracts water, and the gas gets a little bit gummy faster. So let me start it and see if this thing runs better. That's awesome, it worked! Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope it helps a little bit. I know I'm not the best camera guy, but I like working with my hands, and I know a little bit about small engines, so I'd like to help you if I can. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe.